Ready for some fun? Because the circus has come to town and we've got front row seats! With such a ubiquitous title, this is definitely one of the most obscure games I'll ever cover for the Toybox. Which circus are we talking about? Well, this one. Circus! Exclamation point included. Here we go! Good way to set the tone. We have some exploring to do, but the big top awaits, so let's start the show!
Okay, which number shall we play?
That's Zippy, ringmaster of the circus. He'll walk you through everything if you want him to, and he'll explain the whole shebang at the booth outside the tent. Or you can just explore and figure things out for yourself. You've got 8 main acts to choose from, and hey, what better place to start than the flying trapeze?
Swing time!
Circus classic, why not?
Okay, let's begin the show!
Every activity has an animation introducing it. I can tell they had fun with some of these.
Performing for you now, the unique, the amazing, the thrilling... No, Max, you're supposed to be up at the controls.
We'll get to him later.
Everyone, please welcome the great trapeze artist, Charles and Charlene.
Careful, my darling, my precious.
I will, my treasure, my sweet. Okay, Max, lift away.
I would poke fun at those comically thick French accents, but they make sense when you realize this was developed by the French Matre Hachette Multimedia.
We are ready, Max. And please, get it right.
You're supposed to match up their height and get the timing right to get the trapeze act going, but it's more fun to get it wrong and watch them fall. Like this.
Oh, that looked like it hurt.
You know, we have safety nets for that kind of thing. But it's okay, he's fine.
We can try again, but please get it right this time.
Don't worry, you'll get it this time. I have utmost confidence in you. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, sacre Dieu, not again.
Hey, he had the foresight to bring a parachute this time. Where did that come from? After making some careful adjustments, I saw to it that he would complete the trapeze act. I lied, I made it fall again.
Ma pauvre chérie, we must stop this madness.
I'm just saying, if they didn't want me to keep messing this up, they shouldn't have made it so damn funny. I used to get disappointed as a kid when I did it right. But if you screw up 4 times, Charlene decides to give Charles a break so they can try again later. And true to my childhood, I did manage to get it right. Quite by accident, I might add. Well, it's not exactly Cirque du Soleil, but I feel like I at least owe it to Charles to give him one good run. So how's the music in this game? Well, just ask this guy. Yeah. I swear, you can't go wrong with a saxophone. This activity lets you jam along with Saxo, a clown who only communicates via saxophone. Each button on a saxophone will play a different song, and you can use those buttons to make more bubbles to play with. I love how each one adds a little extra percussion to the music as well. You can add your own, but good luck getting it in sync with the song. Lord knows I tried. So there's some genuinely decent compositions in this game, and I do apologize for blathering over them. Some of them are straight up earworms, even if you don't want them to be. You're not walking away from this video without at least one of these songs getting stuck in your head. But you know what? If I had to suffer through this, so do you. Anyway, there's not really much to this one, so let's move on. Riddle me this, if you will. What is a circus without elephants? Well, this circus is... Not yet, you doof. This circus is no exception to that rule. We got some dancing elephants coming your way, and one of the first major earworms of the game. Don't get mad at me, you asked for this. You did not ask for this, you just wanted more videos from me, but this is what you get. Might I add that these are unskippable?
Everyone must learn how to dance. Don't be so afraid, take a chance. Everyone must learn how to learn how to learn how to dance.
Not the worst I've heard, since The Sound of Music exists. But if you feel the need to pause the video and go bleach out your ears, I don't blame you. Here you're helping these two young elephants learn their routines.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up and down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, round and round.
That's pretty impressive, defying the laws of nature and making an elephant jump. Anyway, pretty basic stuff here. Just match up the order of the steps and you're good to go. Get it wrong and...
Ma, is he okay?
1, 2, 3, up.
That's not quite right.
I do like that each step plays its respective note, and the wrong steps play... Get it wrong one too many times, and they head backstage in defeat. It's hard not to feel bad for them. They just look so disappointed in themselves. But if you get it right, they do their performances without a hitch, and they look very pleased with themselves as a result. Get them both right, and they all do the act together.
Everyone must learn how to dance.
Yeah, dancing elephants, blah blah blah, I think we get the picture here. Moving on!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Max and Dynamite, driving the amazing Maxmobile, the only car that runs on pure water.
Now that's the future of renewable energy right there. The hell with electric.
I want to drive too. Oh, let me drive.
No, you're too little.
Oops. Guess it was a wet dream.
Where's my toolbox? I'll have to go find it then. You stay here, and don't touch anything.
Well, that's practically inviting you to push all the buttons, and I think we'll do just that. None of this actually affects anything, but I might as well stay in character. If we're going to be in a game that rewards you clicking around everywhere, you know I'm going to take full advantage for your sake. Besides, what am I supposed to do? Sit here twiddling my thumbs waiting for Max to get back? I don't think so. While we're waiting, I might as well mention that you may find strange the things I found endearing back then, but you gotta understand that I grew up with this face. And this face. And also this face. 90s kid, baby. Alright, let's cut to the chase.
Uh-oh.
Stand back.
Flower power, of course. I remember doing that in Job Simulator.
Tire.
So we grabbed the tire pump, and we...
Is it ready?
Not yet.
We pump up the... Third time lucky. We pump up the tire. Apparently with helium, and a lot of it. Mission accomplished. All we gotta do now is slap it back on the car. Perfect.
Dynamite, get the water.
You got it, Max. 1 bottle of hot sauce coming right up. Maybe that's a little too much kick. Here, try this. After all, we're all about clean energy, right? No? Fine, here's the water.
Oh, I want to drive. Let me at the wheel. Oh, please.
I love that he physically takes the wheel off the dash. While they head backstage, let's move on to the next act.
And now, a real treat, direct from the playing fields of Africa. Johnny's Mighty Lions with Valentine, Leo, and Theo.
In the span of a few seconds, you know everything you need to know about these lions, including attention deficient ball! Anyway, these lions play basketball, and the game serves as a little physics puzzle for you. Theo is lighter than Leo, so that changes the calculus for which height works for which balls, if they even work at all. Theo is too light for the basketball, and Leo is too heavy for the tennis ball. They take turns launching balls off the seesaw for 2 bouts, and the winner takes the podium. If they tie, they share it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Help or hinder the contestants at your discretion. I do like that Valentine reacts to the balls going way off course. The animators never miss a chance, do they? Alright, next game. Oh god. Fabio ain't the only bird to warrant the vaudeville hook. Except this bird actually warrants it, yet is too high up to reach with one. That's where Max and Dynamite come in.
We just have to aim better this time. Then you can grab her.
Okay.
For this game, you add powder to the cannon so you can launch Dynamite up at Carmelita. Kazoom for height, Shazam for speed. Then you have to aim for her, which isn't easy since she won't hold still. And you better believe there are multiple ways to send Dynamite crashing everywhere other than his intended target, including into the audience itself. P.T. Barnum would never do something so careless. Or maybe he would. If you run out of powder, Max calls it quits, and Carmelita stays up there to annoy everyone for the foreseeable future. Alright, Bird Brain, I got you this time.
All right, we got her.
Ha! You know what they say about a bird in the hand? Well, they weren't talking about you.
Come on, you're coming with us.
Don't worry, everybody. Yeah, I'll be back.
Shut the fuck. Well, she's not wrong about being back, but she's a lot less annoying here. Our host for this act is Rex the Magician. Carmelita's just there to help out a little bit. And be annoying.
Watch carefully.
I can do that. I can do that.
No, you cannot.
I can do that.
Shh!
I can do that.
You're a broken goddamn record.
Now pay close attention and remember these colors.
I hope you're paying more attention to these colors than I was.
Now, how about that? Can you do that?
Low-key roast.
Now, let's see you do that. Put him back together.
Now let's see. What was the first one?
Yep, it's one of those routines.
Orange?
If you were paying any attention, you would know that orange was not the first one. But at least I can show you what happens if you get the order wrong. That was
Right, it's purple.
definitely foresight on my part, and not immediately forgetting the order. Because I got distracted. Nope.
Should we take a look?
With apologies to Dynamite. Yeah, this is that routine where the magician cuts up his assistant and puts them back together in the wrong order, and you get to see what happens.
Shall we switch them around?
If you get the order wrong, all you have to do is rearrange them. There we go. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it? Not so fast. It ain't over.
That was easy. Let's see this one.
I bet I can do it.
Were you saying something?
Now, pay attention. And remember these colors.
Okay, this one I straight up did not have the mental capacity to remember.
I bet I can.
Okay. Now let's see you put him back together this time.
Bet I can do it.
You don't sound so sure of yourself this time, Carmelita. Is there a problem? But to be fair, neither was I. On my test run, I cheated and took a screenshot, but I didn't do that here.
Oh, right. It's
Still,
purple now.
it's satisfying as all hell to see Rex smack the cockiness right out of that cockatiel. Or whatever bird she is.
Of course.
You know, I once saw a local magician pull off that whole split up the assistant trick in person. Watching her torso disappear was one hell of an effect, especially when I watched with my mom one time. She quietly asked, "You know where she is, right?" Only to be completely dumbfounded when he opened up the sides of the middle compartment, debunking her theory then and there. No, Mom, I don't know where she's hiding. Even if you know it's an illusion, there's still magic in the execution and the wonder of how they pulled it off so seamlessly. Hell of a trick.
Wait. I guess that's not right.
Sure don't look it, does it, Carmelita? But yeah, I'm a sucker for sleight of hand and the art of misdirection. Anyway, a little rearranging later, and Max is back together again.
I knew it. I can do all of it. I can be a magician anytime.
Well, that's a better shut up than I could have mustered. Thanks, Max. The last thing to cover in the big top is the dress-up parade.
Come on, everybody. We gotta get dressed up for the big parade.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Pick a hat, pick a shoe. Anything that you pick out will do. Pick a coat. Pick a tie. Pick out anything that you would like to try.
Yeah, you should know that ain't the end.
Come on up.
Not a lot to say about this one. You just dress up the characters however you want, then watch the parade with all the characters wearing the outfits you gave them. You can send them out half naked if you want, but I wanted to give them at least some dignity. Except her. Well, if nothing else, I can at least respect the effort this must have taken, animating all those layers of clothes on top of these characters. They obviously didn't want to drive themselves crazy, so you only get a few characters to dress up, and then it's back to the others for a little montage. I'll spare you. Oh, sorry. That ear bleach was just for me. Share the wealth, right? So that's all for the big top tent. But then you realize you can leave and explore outside. There are a couple other points of interest out here, and Zippy isn't here to hold your hand. It's just you out here. The most obvious first stop is the music tent. You got a bunch of percussion instruments to play with to hear what they sound like, allowing you to create a headache-inducing cacophony if you're so inclined. It may not even be your intention. You can't stop them once they start unless you play something else, since only 2 instruments can play at a time. I don't know whether that's a technical limitation, or just sheer mercy. The only other way to make it stop would be to leave this little area and come back. And whatever you do, don't try clicking it again, because then you'll just double up on it. Still, some of these drums play some pretty sick beats. This one in particular. These shells make some curious sounds. No, that was not your PS2 starting up, that was just the game. And this one sounds like it came straight out of Myst. I'll have to make a Toybox video of that one someday. And that, folks, is the fundamentals of a trombone. This oboe is playing some familiar melodies. There's even an electric bass here. You can strum it, play with the distortion. I used to scare myself doing that as a kid. Or have it play that elephant song again, thrash metal style. Yeah, not so painful to listen to now, huh? Well, try as I might, there's no way I can top the autoplay on this. I'll never be able to unleash my inner Paul McCartney. Or Geddy Lee. John McVie. Bonnie the Bun. On the opposite wall, there's a music player that lets you listen to the songs from the game, just in case you didn't get your fix of earworm or really wanted to listen to Learn How to Dance again. I don't, so let's go to the keyboard right next to it. You can actually follow the music sheet to play a little melody that I don't know what it's supposed to be. I can't follow the rhythm properly either since I don't have a metronome handy. At least the notes and keys are color-coded. I can't read a music sheet to save my life. Heading back outside, I gotta say, there's something very serene about being out here, doing your own thing. You can explore on your own terms. Wanna head inside Max and Dynamite's clown car? Go for it. It's full of surprises, including this little spot where you can make your own clown makeup. Utterly pointless, but then again, there's no ultimate goal in this game. You don't even have to start in the big top, it's just the most obvious place to go, telegraphed by Dynamite getting launched out and running back in. Zippy's not even here to tell you what's what, which really helps sell that sensation of autonomy. It's even a little eerie in a sense, being away from the hustle and bustle of the main event. Before, you had Zippy ready to spell everything out for you, or even just tell you the answer. Not here. You're on your own. Which is great, because kids love being their own boss. I may be over-glorifying this a little, but this exploration is part of what made the game so memorable for me. Even at the information booth, these places are mentioned, but not really elaborated on. Well, I'm really honing in on my splitting image here. Maybe this is where they took inspiration for Roxy's beauty salon. No wonder she's so indecisive, hard to decide which is the least bad option. No amount of makeup could ever...
I heard that.
...make her look better. Damn, girl, let me finish my thought before you get up in my case. Yeesh. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff to play around with in the front of the car, letting the animators get playful. You have to appreciate the game's personality, if nothing else. Everything these days is just so paint by the numbers, unless you go indie, since creativity is how they stand out. Well, this game definitely stands out in my mind for a number of reasons. There's all kinds of wackiness in here, but having seen Max and Dynamite in action, I would expect nothing less out of their mobile home. The back is no exception. You can tell a clown lives in here. Who else would keep a chest filled with sand with random stuff buried in it? Where else would you be able to magically change the time of day and weather outside? Although this doesn't actually affect anything since it goes back to being bright and sunny if you step outside. Then there's this. I don't know why it's here, but like I said, anything can happen in a clown car. Having said that, now's as good a time as any to mention the mouse holes. There's a bunch of these, and you may have spotted a few throughout the video. Most of the ones out here take you back to the big tent, while the ones in the big tent always take you somewhere different. They're not necessary since navigation is so simple anyway, but they're kind of fun to use. Meanwhile, as I rummage through these drawers, I think it's time we follow the White Rabbit. What have we got back here, Rex the Magician's trunk? I wonder what's in here. Well, I can't think of a better note to end off on than that. So that's Circus, an obscure kids game with personality that somehow resonated with me for years to come. That's all I have to say. So while we chill by this little lake, I'll see you off until next time. Enjoy the serenity.